at the end of last session, Ghost attempted with both hammer and loud voice to intimidate the crowd that was gathering around this miracle worker who just brought to life a couple of the circus folk and is in the process of bringing to life 2 more. And they began to sort of crowd around and demand that their friends and family members be resurrected as well. And instead of failing that intimidation check as happened in the original footage, instead, this succeeds, and they all grumble a little bit, but begin to go about on their way, going, I wish I had the kind of gold that I could hire someone to raise my family from the dead. And just kind of being generally grumbly and moving on about their business rather than anything else.
I'm not doing this for money.
No, we told them that you were, though.
Yeah, so Ghost used that.
Rush you.
Your lies are not my responsibility.
No, you're busy casting a spell.
So
we're busy saving your ass from a mob.
So remind me. So Ghost will chase off the looky-loos, and then we'll come back into the room where Calder is currently channeling just the shadowiest, darkest, evilest looking magic into the bodies of 2 more dead folks. Where's Echo at? Is Echo in the room there, or is Echo somewhere else?
He was outside helping keep the crowd calm, but I think as the crowd disperses, he is going to make sure they leave whatever the part of the barracks we're at, because all the bodies are in a side room, so he's going to make sure the hall is clear, and then he's going to go into the room. And I think seeing that Calder is already in the middle of a second cast and he doesn't want to fuck up the magic, he's going to go over to the 2 goblins that were resurrected, and he's going to start doing medicine checks on them, pulling out some of his extra cloaks and furs and stuff from his bag of holding, and just bundling them up and making sure that they're feeling as well as they can immediately post-death.
Give me a medicine check. Give me 2 medicine checks, in fact.
2 medicine checks.
At this time, I'm going to note that the current holder of inspiration in the party is Calder. A 17.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, a 17 and an 18. Okay, so pretty good. Yeah, I mean, they're going to live. They don't look in great shape. Raised dead is not resurrection, right? It does heal their mortal wounds and restores what's still there, but they're very exhausted. They're probably in shock. And putting the blankets around them is really the right way to go, because they sort of begin to shiver before you do that. I see the raise dead spell as a fairly traumatic process. So they're okay physically, they're going to live, but they're not okay.
Yeah. So getting them bundled up. Persert is the one who showed us here, and he was here for all of that. So I think Echo's going to turn to him and be like, once we're done here, we need to gather everyone up and go. Mirabar is not, it's going to be so stressed taking care of everybody who is here. We need to get you guys somewhere else. So can you go gather up everybody and meet back here as soon as you can?
He's going to smile down at you. And he shakes his head a little bit and says, do you think that I would leave when there are so many in need here?
I think you need to get everybody out of here. I know you can help. Not everybody who's a performer is, good at hauling rubble away. And these 6 died. Persert, they need to go home, not just be here around everything else that's happening.
Yes. Anyone who wishes to leave, we will ensure that there is a safe exit. And he kind of looks at you and he says, believe me, I know a few paths in and out of the city. And he will really quick, so he's wearing sort of a tattered, almost circus performer shirt. And just for a moment, he looks at you and he moves his shirt and flips it inside out. And there is a very small but very recognizable Harper pin on the inside of his shirt. And he says, I will be safe, and I will ensure that anyone who wants to leave is also safe. All right? I won't force anybody to leave if they wish to stay, regardless of their physical state.
Okay. But everyone should gather up because...
On that much, we agree.
Yeah.
And he shoots one more sort of disconcerted look at the magic that Calder is performing. And he looks back at you and he says, everything's okay, right?
As someone who has done that before, and he gestures at what Calder's doing, it's as okay as it ever is.
His brows furrow for a second and he says, perhaps. I don't see you as one who would do... He looks over at the shadowy magic that's being projected, and he shrugs and he says, but what do I know? And he'll exit the room and go to gather the circus performers into one place. Ghost, you just finished, like, keeping people out of this place. What do you do when you come into this room? You know there are two that have already been resurrected, and of course Echo and Presert until he leaves. What are you up to?
So I was actually not going to go back into the room.
Okay.
Ghost is intending to look for Gatlick and Thorn, since they are allegedly in the we're allegedly coming to Marabar, but with the sidetracking of people getting all rowdy and shit, we're just gonna door guard this until it's done.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Calder.
Yes.
So you finish up your second casting of Raised Dead. And man, you had such a good night's sleep after the Battle of the Full Moon. And you felt so refreshed, and you felt so alive, and now after 2 successive castings of the Raised Dead spell, you feel like you did halfway through that evening. Like, you are exhausted already, and probably not too terribly pleased, although the results speak for themselves. The other 2 stand up and, like, give a gasp, and immediately, I assume, are ministered to by Echo. What is your response, Calder, at the end of your second casting? What is it you do right after that?
Echo.
Yeah. Hurries over.
Water.
Okay, yeah. Hands him a water skin.
Yes, chugs it down.
Starts, yeah, so we raised the 2 goblins. There were also 2 gnomes that had died, and then the last 2 bodies that Persert pointed out, and like Echo would help once he gets the people who are alive again, like bundled off into the corner under blankets. Point out there is an Asamar and there is a half-elf who is of the circus troupe that are still dead.
All right. With that, he'll concentrate and is using spell points to restore the spell slot. And
before you start casting again,
yeah,
Echo is going to walk up to you and stand really fucking close to you. Like, I think he actually, like, if you're sitting on the ground, because it takes like an hour to cast every time, right?
Oh yeah, like my knees haven't moved in like 2 hours, so he's very, very stiff at the moment.
Echo is going to step on top of your thighs, so he is that close to you, standing, looking slightly down at you, and say, "Hey, take a second, breathe."
Oh, I know.
Calder.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me get back to it.
Okay. And Echo gives you a kiss before he steps back a bit.
He will turn like this, like actual metallic bronze, his version of a blush, and then goes wordlessly right back into it. Deep breath, rubs hand, just the. It's a case of okay. Eyes go black, horrible aura appears, and starts trying as he takes the diamond in front of him and just sort of splits the magic so to grab both of them at the same time.
Can Echo do like an insight or an arcana check to see if this is having like, because the last time somebody cast magic like this, it was Echo, and it literally like etched scars into his face from channeling that much magic.
Yeah.
So can Echo do like a, how is Calder doing?
I think Arcana is probably the best way to go.
Oh, great. He's not good at that.
But I'm willing to accept arguments for a different skill if you can justify it.
Medicine.
Yeah,
Insight?
medicine or insight. I think he's wanting to see if there's a noticeable physical change. So I think I would argue for medicine.
Sure, medicine seems right to me.
Okay.
A 10.
There's a lot of shadow in the way.
Even with a 10, I'll say he looks fine. In fact, now that you're looking at him, when he splits the diamond, it's clear to you that the majority of the power that is being generated comes from the diamond and is going straight into the corpses. And when you cast your spell, the power of the staff was channeled through you and into Clarion. You were the conduit. It seems like, in this case, Calder is manipulating the magics from afar rather than, like, taking them into himself. So you think he's probably going to be fine.
Okay.
I mean, he still, like, is currently
It's
possibly hovering in the air with all black eyes and, like, tendrils of dark energy coming from him, but that's pretty much as normal.
Yeah, but like, have you met Calder though? Like, he does that. That's just his thing.
Yeah, it's also, like I can imagine some caution. It's the same kind of magic I use to, summon up pillars of acid and murder and burninate the countryside.
So I have a question. So, because you said he took the diamond in both hands and split it and is casting with that. Where is his staff right now?
It's sitting like cross his lap in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah, I see what you're going for.
If you're observing it, none of the magic of the staff is entering into the spell. At least not or at least nothing that you could detect.
It's not, the staff is not being used in this casting. Yeah. Okay.
So
Echo will, once he gets the other people settled into the corner, go and stand next to a Ghost out in the hallway, keeping watch in case any more mobs try to form.
And as you go out there, and Ghost is probably dicing with some people, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm trying to make money.
like Ghost is the kind of person who goes from potentially violent mob to awesome gambling buddies in no time flat.
But like, he's doing it close enough to the door to this area so that, like, if anybody decides that they're going to make a break for it, he will be in the way.
It looks like you don't really see any of the faces that were there when this started. Like, they've all gone about their business. There are still people milling about, but most of them seem to be heading back up to the surface now that things seem to be safe. So you'll find that there are fewer and fewer people, and perhaps you don't have to be so vigilant on the door, but that's up to you. You've got about an hour. What does Echo and Ghost get up to while Calder is casting Raise Dead for the third time?
I think Echo is going to sit next to Ghost, cross-legged, and he's going to try to attune to those beads that he found, the necklace.
Attuning, I believe, is an 8-hour process, or is it?
It's a 1 hour.
It's a 1 hour process. Excellent, no problem.
Yep.
Let me go into your character sheet really quick. And into your inventory.
Yeah. I have it in the bag of holding right now, the necklace.
Yes. Currently it just says necklace. Awesome. I'm going to ID that. You find, as you attune to it, that it is indeed a necklace of prayer beads. It has 4 beads on it, one of curing, one of blessing, one of favor, and one of smite. If you would like to go through and
Cure,
look at those definitions, you can.
Cure best,
It's
favor,
in the
smite.
name. I put it in the name of the item.
Cool. And because he's attuning to that, he is unattuning to the Harper pin.
Excellent.
He can be scried upon and shouted out from a distance.
You immediately receive a sending.
So this is as the hour is ending that I get the sending.
Yeah. So
Okay.
as that's finishing up, you immediately get a sending that is in Vesper's voice and simply says, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." And you find that you do not have the option to respond to it.
Okay. He's gonna try to anyway, and out loud he'll just say, apropos of nothing, "What the fuck? Vesper? Hello? Did you hear that, Ghost?
Did I hear what?
Like I kind of
I've decided
raspily, owly voice."
I have no idea what you are talking about.
Okay.
I've decided that sending is like voicemail. If they can't receive it when you send it, then
It's
it
just
just
pending.
hovers there and waits.
Oh no.
That's so much more interesting.
So you
You
unattune to
pooping?
the Harper pin, you attune to the prayer beads.
Yep.
Ghost, are you playing fair or are you cheating?
I feel like I'm good enough at playing fair.
Okay, give me a straight D20, please. That was a 7.
That was a 7.
All right, we're gonna say that you lose 11 gold pieces in the dicing.
I will lose 11 gold pieces.
Not that it really matters, but you know, you're dicing, so your gold.
If you're not willing to lose some, you can't be able to win some.
Also, the people that you're playing against have kind of lost everything,
You
so
know?
it wouldn't surprise me if Ghost was like, "Yeah, okay, so here's some gold."
This is the only way that ghosts can do charitable giving.
By removing themselves from it this many layers.
Like they gotta put something up. I gotta put something up. I will lose probably on purpose, but this way they feel like they won something off of me, and this way I don't feel like I'm actively giving it away.
I love the idea of Ghost cheating, but in reverse.
It's totally possible. I am proficient in sleight of hand. No, I'm not. I'm not proficient in sleight of hand. Never mind.
But using the weighted dice that actually make you lose instead of handing them to the opponent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm just looking up the spells on
Would
in
you
the prayer
would you
read.
like to go ahead and illuminate for the rest of us, because some folks might not know about prayer beads. You have 4 different types. What do they do?
Okay, so for each bead, you can use a bonus action to cast the spell it contains using your own DC, and then you can't use that particular bead spell until the next dawn. And so the bead of blessing is the spell bless. Bead of curing is cure wounds at 2nd level or a lesser restoration. The bead of favor is greater restoration, and the bead of smiting is branding smite. So that's cool.
Ooh, branding smite.
And are these consumable like the fireball beads, or are these like on a long rest they reset?
At dawn, each individual bead resets.
Ooh.
So it's
Fancy.
not a
That's real good.
consumable.
Yeah, it is a wondrous item, rare, and you need to be a cleric, druid, or paladin to attune to it.
Neat.
And I thought they were consumable because there was a version of that in
In an earlier edition,
another
I think.
game I played. Yes.
Yeah. So, Jeff,
Yes.
Calder finishes casting the 3rd spell, bringing the Aasimar and the half-elf back from the grave. and they again gasp and sit up, looking around in confusion. And for the moment, you are alone in the room with these two. Go.
Hey. You don't worry. You're okay. You're safe. I know what happened was terrible. You give me a moment. A friendly face will help you in just a moment. And then he'll clutch his head as if he is having the worst headache.
The Aasimar will actually kneel beside you, and he looks more or less calm. Gale, he, she, they?
Haven't decided yet. Let's go with he.
Okay.
Looks pretty normal, is faintly purple in the skin tone, and has a faint halo behind their head. That's their Aasimar trait.
He kneels beside Calder, and he says, "A friendly face has already helped me, my friend."
I've met me. I'm not that friendly.
Well, perhaps I just appreciate your complexion. And he'll turn back to his friend the half elf, who is not having nearly as good a time, and will begin to sort of help him to his feet.
We will be fine. The battle is over. Everyone is resting and healing. I am doing damage control.
I saw others fall. Are
Yes,
they well also?
Gestures to the corner where Echo put them.
That's like a thumb jerk over there. Now, if you
Good.
excuse me, I have to go attend the ones that aren't.
I didn't recognize them under all those furs. Yes, I will attend to matters here, and thank you. May I have your name, sir?
My name is Calder Creed Cheval.
You have made a friend today, Calder Creed Cheval. Probably more than one. I thank you.
Thank you. It's not why I did this, but if you'll excuse me.
And you will open the door where Ghost is enthusiastically losing money at dice, and Echo just comes out of his concentration upon his necklace and is ready to go as well. What are the three of you up to?
Ghost will stand up in like a huff, like I'm done losing money to these people, and like kind of make a show of like stomping away about it.
I'll look at the whoever's in charge of the circus to ask him, are there any more?
Okay, is Persert back with the other circus folk by now?
He will, after an hour. Yeah, I'd say he probably makes his way back. How many of these folks are there in total, Gale?
In total is 21.
Okay, then yes.
The troop they brought, yeah.
Everyone is now present and accounted for, and the moment that they come out of the door and the moment that the assembled see them, it's tears and hugs all around. Like, I saw you die.
Notably, there is a half-elf that is outside that looks identical to the half-elf you brought back, and they are hugging.
Yeah. Ow. Now, if you excuse me, I am going to sleep for as long as I am able.
We kind of probably shouldn't stay here very long. Can you do that thing that you did on Barnabas in the forge? Where you sleep real quick for a long time?
I could, but it's not that efficient. All right, be out. He'll say, "I'm gonna lie." He'll just kind of lean against something soft. I'll be out in a few minutes. Casting catnap.
Awesome. You cast catnap, and the world immediately grows dark around you. And now I think would be a really good time for us to go over to a pre-recorded segment. So stick around. We're gonna do a little bit of a pre-recorded segment where Calder is dreaming during his catnap. And we will see you all on the other side.